I'm Peter Hooton from The Farm, and we've just finished our tour with the Happy Mondays. We went around all the UK, and we also visited Ireland. And it was absolutely brilliant. And when we first got the tour, everyone was dead excited, weren't they? You know what I mean? What were your impressions, Roy, when you first...
It was good to play with them again. We're all old friends. We played with them lots over the years. But I think we all agreed that this has been the best. Which, after all these years of playing with them, way back to the Pickett, they're on good form. We're on good form. We're all a bit older. We're all a bit more sensible. And it was a happy tour.
Is it a badge of honour finishing the tour with the Mondays? We're still all here in one piece, Carl.
We out Mondays. The Mondays, I think. But it was good. I'd probably say, after all the many years that we've toured and the many tours that we have done, I would say that's my favourite tour that we've ever been on. I don't know particularly why that. Maybe it's to do with kind of being on the airs a bit longer than we originally were when we started touring. But it just seemed easy. It seemed incredibly enjoyable. And I think with the Mondays, which does work really well for us, is we share the same audience. So I think we were playing to kind of pushing an open door, really. And the Mondays are great to tour with. They're a great band, great songs, play great venues, play to enormous crowds. And it made me very happy.
Yeah. I think one of the great things about it was because it was a weekend, wasn't it? So it wasn't like when you used to tour in the past where you do 3 gigs and a day off and then 3 gigs. So it was weekend tours. So it gave you enough time to appreciate it. In fact, when you had the 3 or 4 days off till the next weekend, you really missed it, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I think we're all a little bit more mature now, aren't we? In terms of our approach to these types of things as well. I mean, it's certainly one of the. I kind of agree. It is one of the best tours I think we've done, but it's one that I can remember fully. If in terms of past things tours that you've done in the past.
But you don't drink anymore, do you?
No, I don't drink alcohol at all anymore. So I mean, I think that's possibly what I was getting at. Is that it's great to be the age we are now and as mature as what we are now, and do these things from a different perspective. You know what I mean? And you kind of like you kind of experience things in a very different way, I think, and I quite agree. I've never heard them play so as well as what they did on this tour, So.
And us as well. I think we're playing as well as we ever have. That a week in, we were like, we hit our stride and it never let up. Yeah. And obviously the crippling hangovers of the past and, the jail and the missing people and all of that, that's not a factor anymore. So we're all there on time and we play. But actually, the way we're all playing is great. Peter's voice has never sounded as good, and I got loads of people commenting on that as well.
I mean, who knew
those singing lessons are paid off then, haven't they?
I mean, who knew that behaving yourself would reap such wonderful rewards?
Yeah, if only we'd have listened.
I mean, there was an unfortunate, just the week before, wasn't it? Northside had to pull out because Dermo had a health scare. But in the end, we were going on a lot earlier than we were surprised that the crowds were so full so early. We went on most nights at 7:40, didn't we? Yeah. The first couple of nights it was 8:10 in Newcastle and Leeds, but then it went to 7:40. So it was 40 minutes after the doors opened. We were surprised how many people were in there. I was, because
Yeah, it didn't feel like a traditional support, did it? It did feel like a bill because we're going on stage and the place is full. I think I can remember once when we got to the side of the stage and it was, it doesn't look very busy. By the time we'd started Groovy Train, it was chocker.
Yeah. I think that was Dublin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, the first night in Dublin,
No, I mean, it didn't feel like traditional support, it was, the rooms were full and the songs went down really, really well. I mean, and I think you've got to be grateful for that type of reception, really, when you're in this game anyway. It's difficult enough as it is, but it was very different from a normal gig or a traditional support type thing from that perspective.
One thing that struck me, obviously, I'm sitting at the back, so I can look at the audience more than all you
sure
can.
You're sitting at the back, or did you get a riser?
No, I didn't get a riser. Sore point. Well, actually, I was in the middle this time, wasn't I? I wasn't actually at the back. But anyway, I'm sitting down and I'm looking at the front of the audience. And I was surprised at how young the front of the audience was. Because, I think it's a generational thing where parents bring their kids. Or there's a generation that listens to 90s music.
I think that's what it is,
But the thing that really blew me away was the new songs we did, they were all singing along. So obviously it's that thing of you go to a gig, you get on Spotify or whatever, and you listen to the band's stuff. They obviously think, well, they're going to play new songs. And they listen to them and sing along. That blew me away. I thought it'd be the two big hits and then a bit of a lull. But actually, there were nights when the new stuff was going down as good.
Let the music, let the music, let the music take control. Let the music, let the music, let the music.
You're talking about this.
I'm talking about that.
Our last album, or our latest album.
Latest
album, yeah. And we did 3 tracks off it. One, the first was like the intro, was Eternity. Then we did Let the Music Take Control, which went down brilliantly every night. Didn't it? Really? It's as if people already knew it. And then Moments in Time. So they all went down great, and it's still available, I believe, in all good record shops. But, did that surprise you that, and a lot of people, want to hear Spartacus and Love's, Colour the Old and Mind and that, but did that surprise you, Keith, the new songs went down so well?
Well, yeah, because and we were discussing and debating what the set was going to be, weren't we, before we went on the tour, and we actually did discuss whether or not we should be doing some of the new tunes, and obviously we decided yes, we would, but it's always in front of an audience like that. It will you come into a gig like that, and they're going to be very, very familiar with your past work. But perhaps not so much with your later work, where you do drop some new tunes that they
drop.
just
is that what we say in the industry?
That's a kind of I think a term that is
you've learnt in Lipper.
Yeah. Drop when we drop some new tunes and that. It's good to see that they go down as well as the other tunes, and I think Roy's right.
I mean, before the tour, we said, we'll start off with this set. And we'll change it because we're doing 3 nights in Glasgow, we're doing 2 nights in Dublin. We'll have to change the set, but we decided that the set was going down so well, the 40-minute set, that we'd stick to that.
But we didn't change the set all tour, which is kind of unusual, but it worked, didn't it? I mean, we were only on for 40 minutes, and we went on, and
that 40 minutes went like
very quick,
didn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot of people saying they would like to have heard more, but is it for us? It was, as coming on before the Mondays. I think it was the perfect time.
I also think it was the perfect setup for the Mondays as well. I mean, obviously, everyone will have an opinion on that, but I just think we worked well together as a group, a pair of bands. And for anyone in the audience, I'm sure that they. I mean, ultimately, the reviews have been good, haven't they? You know what I mean? And you can only ever go on the response really of the people on the night, and I don't think we had
any negativity at all on
what was
reviews or social media.
Yeah, what was great to see again, sitting down, looking at the side every night. The Mondays were there.
Yeah.
Gary, more or less, the drummer, watched every night. Bez and Fru, the backing singer, watched every night. Mark was there most of the time. So they were enjoying us as much as we were enjoying them, and that camaraderie, I think, really came across, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was a great vibe backstage, wasn't there? I mean,
it's brilliant. Yeah.
Sometimes, in situations like that, there isn't, but there was, everyone was, really happy, weren't they?
Yeah, no, it was a really.
They were the happy Mondays again.
Yeah. The very happy Mondays, they should be called now. But it was good, and I think over that tour, we must have played to nearly 50,000 people. probably.
Yeah,
that's
at least,
it's not a bad number to play to. It's not a bad number to kind of, as in my case, swinging a bass guitar or whatever. When you're looking out front, seeing that number of people kind of enjoying not just the old songs but the new ones, it's a bit life affirming. I think it kind of validates the reason to be an artist, the reason to write songs, the reason to do stuff. Is it just validates it and makes you realise, well, 50,000 people can't be that wrong, So it was good. It was good fun, and that camaraderie.
I mean, the venues themselves, there's some absolutely brilliant venues.
God,
I don't know if the promoters deliberately picked them, but they tended to be old style venues,
beautiful venues,
like in Brighton and Bristol particularly.
Yeah.
They were absolutely stunning venues, weren't they?
Yeah, and it was great to go back. One of my favourite ever moments, the first time round, was the gig in Barrowland. That was my favourite ever gig for the farm, because
in '91.
Yeah, because that moment, I still get goosebumps now. When we came off and we were all sitting in the dressing room, it was the only time I ever remember the farm dressing room in utter silence, because we could hear the fans walking out, singing all together now, echoing around that sort of stairwell, which is tiled. Yeah. I remember that, and it gives me goosebumps now, and it happened again. It was great. We came off stage the third night, and they were singing as we went all the way to the dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, we did reference it on the tour. I mean, it's one of our favourite. Barrowlands is one of our favourite venues, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
It's got a certain atmosphere, hasn't it? And it's
iconic as a venue.
It's a cliche that every band says their favourite.
Yeah.
Barrowland is their favourite gig, but it is. It's that it is for a reason.
Yeah.
But some of the others, Dublin.
I mean,
second night in Dublin.
Obviously, there was, as I say, some brilliant venues, but the actual atmosphere in Liverpool and Manchester, it was special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think the Manchester one, it was almost like hysteria.
Yeah.
It's like, godlike figures were going to go on the stage, and, we went down brilliantly in Manchester. But, listening to the crowd just before the Mondays came on, there was a hysteria in the air. Did you sense that?
Yeah, it was like a homecoming, wasn't it, for them?
Yeah.
And for us as well, bizarrely, even though it was Manchester, it felt like a bit of a homecoming for us. There was at no point did it feel like.
Did no point did you sing "You Scouse Bastard"?
No, at no point. And on the last night of the tour when we played Belfast, Bez got on stage with us and and he did his thing, and that was just if you want to kind of full stop that story about camaraderie and respect for each other as bands, then Bez and Fru coming on at the end and joining in.
Brilliant moment, wasn't it?
That's how you end a tour.
Well, it's almost like we've come full circle really as people and as band really, because if you think about the origins of both bands that grew out of the 80s, I mean, we were the only two bands that looked the way that we looked. No other band looked like
and
us.
really, when you listen to some of the podcasts that they do, and I did one recently with Sean Ryder a few years ago, it's amazing, and it never come across in interviews, as it obviously wouldn't, but it was amazing the fact that they were looking at what we were doing in Liverpool, and he actually came over, didn't he, to buy Hearts and Minds, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
The original single, so it was that. I think it was like going full circle to, going back on tour with them.
Yeah.
It was like, after a gap of many years, And in fact, we only reformed in 2005, if you remember.
Yeah.
Because the Mondays asked us to go on tour with them.
Yeah.
And Steve had been unwell, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And we weren't sure whether we could reform because Steve was in recovery. And then he recovered and he said, let's do it.
Get Loaded in the Park, wasn't it? We did.
Loaded in the Park, and there was a few other gigs, wasn't there?
That's right, yeah.
We played Brixton.
Played Scotland with
Brixton,
them.
We played Brixton.
Brixton Academy.
And I mean, the Roundhouse in London was one of the highlights when Paul Oakenfold came backstage. And he was saying, why didn't you get me to remix one of your tracks,
Yeah.
And, that was great, wasn't it?
We must have asked him.
So, Paul, if
he said he never got the message.
If you're listening, Paul, you're more than welcome to remix one of the tracks from the new album.
You sort of. I mean, it's been 10 days, nearly 2 weeks since the tour. I forgot about the Roundhouse. I remember walking back for the Mondays, and it was like being in Ibiza. There were just people falling over and necking, and it was just nuts. And I remember being on stage when we were playing, and it seemed chaotic then.
And we met some old friends. We met James Brown. Who gave us our first Enemy cover.
Oh
when Harry met Scally, wasn't it?
Yeah, when Harry met Scally.
It was Harry Cross, Bill Dean, the actor. And we'd just done the Groovy Train video with him in Southport, hadn't we? Yeah. So we met, and James was saying that was unbelievable. You know, it was like.
Well, he came to Southend, didn't he?
He came the next night. He enjoyed it so much. Yeah. I didn't see him in Southend, though, did he?
He was there. Yeah,
he did.
But he was there. Did you see him?
Oh, he came backstage. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
he did.
All right. Yeah, but it was great to see him. And then in Belfast, Terry Hooley.
Yeah.
I think you invited, didn't you, Carl?
Yeah. Well,
explain who Terry Hooley is to people.
Terry Hooley ran a record shop in Belfast called Good Vibrations, and he also ran a small record label. And famously, he was the first person to sign Teenage Kicks by the Undertones, and then the Undertones later were picked up by Seymour Stein at Sire Records. But he's the godfather of kind of, I suppose, Irish punk is probably a fair thing to say. But also, he's a big Farm fan, and he's quite frail now. He's quite elderly. But he came to the Belfast gig, came backstage with us, and it was a really strange one. Terry he's a tough man, and he doesn't mince his words, and he was in tears. So I asked him if he was all right, and he said, I hate music now. He said, but you've just confirmed my love of music. And he was crying. He was crying,
and he recited a poem, didn't he?
Yeah. It really was an emotional moment. And Terry doesn't, he's...
How many Irish whiskies did he have?
He doesn't drink, does he?
No, he's not meant to drink, but he was drinking.
Oh, right, okay.
He's also not meant to smoke, and he lit a cigarette, which I had to make him put out. Otherwise, he would have emptied the venue.
What was great as well, I invited Glenn, who directed Good Vibrations, the film, and they hadn't seen each other for a while.
But that was fun.
Really?
That was no, they were fine. They were fine, and each said to me, "Terry's on good form," because I don't think he goes out a lot now. But
well, he hadn't left the house for months, he said, and the only reason he left the house was to come see the farm.
Yeah, I remember when we first saw him. We stand at the lift and the lift door opened and he was just standing there on his own, lost.
That was a weird. That was weird in Belfast because it was like seeing a vision. It was like
the door opened and he was standing there. He always carries a plastic bag, doesn't he?
And he had one with him.
He had one with him.
Well, the first thing he did is pull his t-shirts up and he had a heart monitor on.
Yeah, that's right.
I was sitting there thinking, what are you doing, man?
Oh, he's a funny man.
A few other, it was a few other visitors backstage. An old friend of yours turned up in Nottingham.
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche, yeah. You know what? He was great.
Yeah,
he's a big music fan, isn't he? I met him in Glastonbury a few years ago when he was still Everton's manager.
Yeah,
and I made sure I didn't have a photograph taken with him.
I kind of get that. But he was very complimentary and he is a big music fan, and he goes that venue all the time, doesn't he?
It's a great Rock City's a great venue. We originally played that on the Spartacus tour, didn't we? Rock City. Yeah. But we started off in Newcastle, which was a brilliant night, wasn't it? It's a brilliant venue as well, Newcastle as well. Yeah. But I mean, was there any apprehension because you had your first night and you think, we've got another 22 dates,
It felt, looking forward at the time, it felt exhausting thinking there's 22 of these to do. And then by the time we were on the ferry coming back from Belfast, I was thinking, that was eady. I could do another 23 tomorrow morning.
Yeah. We got into a rhythm, didn't we?
Yeah.
Certain rhythm, which, we'd sort of like, when we were visiting places, we'd identify places we wanted to visit on the way to those places, Can we mention that? We visited pubs.
Yeah.
You can read all about that in...
Sip Advisor.
Steve Graham's brilliant Sip Advisor, which goes on our social media. And it really brings the tour alive, doesn't it?
It gives you a bit of an insight to to the realities of the day-to-day in the bus and trying to get food and drink, when
and how much we love ale.
And how much
well, it's like a diary, sex, drugs and rock and roll without the sex and drugs. Isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's I would say it's more like stamp collecting or bird watching.
It's less
we collect country pubs. What can we say?
Pubs, exactly. It's I'd frame it in there, but it's cultural. It's a cultural journey.
Yeah, it is, and we like to go on the way to venues. Stopping off at kind of pubs, which is great fun. But they're not just pubs; they're actually sleepy little hamlets in the middle of little pockets of.
It's a great way of seeing the countryside, isn't it?
Yeah.
We coming from a city. When you see some of the places we went to, they're just absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Well,
you see pockets of Britain that you're never ever going to see in your life unless you're in a band and you make the effort of going to places. We sat next to some incredible scenery, rivers, sleepy little hamlets. Places that you only ever see in Hammer horror films.
Well, I think what the really nice thing about that is, I mean, people will have a particular perception of touring as quite glamorous, and for 40 minutes while you're on stage, it can be, but mostly you spend a lot of time in the dark because you're in a van for 8 hours.
Speak for yourself.
No, but you're in a van for 8 hours, aren't you? Without much sunlight. You're in a hotel sleeping overnight, and you're on stage and it's dark.
You're in a dressing room waiting for sound check.
You're waiting, so you're spending most of your time waiting around. So just doing that, making that little bit of an effort by going out an hour earlier, breaks that up and gives you the very,
that's
very
what it was all about, breaking it up, wasn't it? But I think, there was no, we have a splitter bus which has seats in the front and the gear in the back. It's great, but the Mondays had one of those big sleeper buses, didn't it? Which we used in some of our tours, especially in America. But I wasn't a big fan of them. I'd rather have a hotel room.
It's like sleeping in coffins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not that I've sleeping coffins.
Did anyone go on the Monday's tour bus?
No.
The other thing about the tour bus as well is, like with the Mondays, for us, we would travel during the day and we'd interrupt the day with a visit to, mainly a pub.
An arcade.
Yeah, or a museum. So we'd stop off on the way, we'd see a bit of the countryside, breaks up the day. If anything, it's part of education. It's a good thing to do. But so with those sleeper buses is they travel overnight.
Yeah.
So they're parked in a car park outside the venue from like 3 or 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, which means you're stuck there all day. Which I wouldn't fancy that. It'd kind of stop you visiting the countryside.
You prefer the Alan Partridge travel lodges, don't you?
Oh yeah, we talk at length about them.
What was everyone's favourite gig? Wonder if we're all the same.
I don't know. I think I think the Roundhouse is up there. I'd say top 3 were, Glasgow, Roundhouse, maybe Manchester for me, like. Or Belfast. Top. I'd have to go for the top 5. One of the Glasgow ones. Belfast, the Roundhouse, Manchester, and Liverpool. Top 6. I have to go for the top 6. Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 23.
But I don't think we did a gig where we were disappointed, were we?
No, I thought we played really, really well, and we had a great response every night. Some nights were a little bit more work than others, but if I was going to think about mine, I would definitely go for the last night in Glasgow. Was brilliant.
I think if we did the only ones which didn't have that type of electric atmosphere were like Wednesday nights. And we only did a couple of them, didn't we?
I forgot we did Wednesdays.
We did a couple of Wednesdays, I think.
But even I won't say where we played, but there were a couple, maybe 2 or 3, which are smaller towns, cities, and we'd go on, and it was hard work to get them going. But we never came off stage anything other than elated. It was always great by the end, and they were always appreciative. They just weren't Barrowland mad. That's the thing, I
think that's when you've got when you know what. Liverpool, Manchester, London, Barrowland, when you know that it's when you go to sleepier towns.
Yeah,
it's it's never going to be like that, is it?
No.
Although I really enjoyed Guildford, I thought we played really well.
Yeah,
Guildford was a good one.
I think
Guildford was great.
Guildford was brilliant. It was a brilliant gig.
And before before that, we had John Coleman, who was the Aldershot manager.
That's
wasn't
right.
he,
Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah.
They left on mutual agreement, though, now. But everyone in the pub was coming up to him and went, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, John. And then a couple of weeks later, he's out.
And after meeting the farm, he was sacked the very next day.
Another surreal moment. I can't remember what song we were playing, but I thought, that's the woman off the Tube, Pogoing.
Yeah.
And it was Muriel Gray, because you'd invited her, hadn't you? So I didn't know she was coming, but she was right at the front, pogoing. I didn't know she was coming. Right. She was pogoing, singing along. I
didn't see that. I saw her backstage later, but I didn't see her in the audience. I didn't even know she was there.
Well, I saw her. She was there dancing away. But I thought what was lovely, she came backstage and she didn't go to you. She went straight to Alex, the backing singer. And she was like really, like you could see Alex glowing as she was complimenting her. Because Alex was brilliant on the tour. We haven't really mentioned her, but she was superb.
Absolutely. Every night, magnificent. And you look at our social media, everyone will always say, what's the name of the girl who sings with you? And we'd always tell them, she was absolutely magnificent, and so was, I think her and Fru had a good relationship, didn't he, as well? Because she was absolutely brilliant, Fru. I thought she was fantastic.
Where did the both heavy metal singers?
The both heavy metal singers,
both rock,
And I mean, it was great to see that.
Yeah,
because obviously there's been some stick on social media and that, but unbelievable. She suited the songs perfectly, I thought. I like the way Alex suits our songs. I think, and
it was her first tour as well, Alex. Which you forget. She'd never done a tour. So it was for her. It was, and she really grew into it. You could see it. I think she was nervous at the beginning. Getting ready, you could tell she was really nervous. And before we're going on stage, where's Alex? But then once she was on that stage, she was superb.
But it's always the same, isn't it? Once I mean, I haven't been nervous for years going on stage, but I was a little bit nervous, and that's because you're thinking, oh God, I hope my voice doesn't go halfway through the tour,
Yeah,
and it kept up remarkably well, And I think obviously those few breaks, because we only did weekends, were important, But I remember in London, it must be because it was London. First time I had a really dry mouth. Before singing, and I had to sip cool boiled water. But apart from that, I never got that's what you worry about as a singer, getting a sore throat or losing your voice, And it was great.
It's a good job you don't go to late night pubs till 4 a.m, isn't it?
That's the only time I felt. I think it was the last Glasgow night. Because we had a good night the night before. I felt a bit like a bit dodgy before the
Perhaps your preparation wasn't what it should have been.
Well, we shared a room, and in the pre-afternoon nap, he said, I'm not going to talk after tonight's gig. I'm going to have a rest.
Oh, really?
I went home at about 1 as you staggered up the road with Ronnie and Steve and him.
It was a bad mistake. It was a bad mistake, and I apologise now. We just got carried away. I mean, when you see your sound man at the time was new, say, let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. I know one round the corner, it's open.
Yeah.
And you're in Glasgow and think, just go for it.
We also had every gig you do comes with some kind of memory. But Barrowland, which is particularly brilliant, we had a piper turned up unexpectedly. And the promoter said,
who we'd met at a Madness gig, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And we met him at a Madness. He played with Madness before. Where was it?
It was Liverpool.
Was it?
Yeah, he got up with Madness in Liverpool. We were backstage with Madness.
Didn't you meet him in Crosby?
No. He was backstage. We played with Madness. We were backstage with Madness. I must have been talking to him. Well, I was talking to him.
Yeah.
And I must have said, if we ever play Scotland, it'd be great if you got up with us. Yeah. And that's where the conversation
so
ended.
you're admitting it now?
No.
It was at the time.
And then the promoter said, kind of a quick workout when we were at Barrowlands. They said there's a man outside, in a kilt.
In a kilt.
With a set of bagpipes and a knife. Who said he was getting on stage with you. So I said, I haven't said that. And anyway, it turned out he couldn't do it. Actually, he wasn't allowed to it. But the promoter pulled a brilliant, I thought, very, very kind and brilliant kind of alternative idea. It was the day of it was Bez's birthday that day. So the idea then was that the piper would then go into Bez's room while Bez was cutting up his Colin the Caterpillar birthday cake, and he played Happy Birthday.
Yeah, I've got footage of that. And then
brilliant.
During the Monday set, he did play, didn't he? At the
end, yeah.
At the end, yeah.
And then I think I didn't see it, but someone said
so our piper ended up appearing with the Mondays.
Yeah. It was funny.
Services to rock and roll.
And also when he said, the promoter said we can let him come in, but he's going to have to put his pipes in the cloakroom and his dagger. So I had this great image of his pipes in the cloakroom.
I was standing next to Bez as the piper came in.
Yeah.
And the look on his face, I think there's a photograph of it. It was like childlike wonder.
Yeah.
And we know why it was childlike wonder. But it was just pure joy and surprise.
Yeah.
And it meant he started doing a little dance. Remember?
Yeah. We got it on film.
He started dancing to the piper.
Yeah. I mean, that was a bizarre moment, that, being in the room with the piper, but, but mate, that's one of the weird things about being in a band, I suppose, is like, you end up in situations which for want of a better word, a normal job, that's never going to happen. At what point in any job is a piper going to walk into a dressing room and pipe, Bez a tune? There's no job. And other situations, but, it takes the world of pop music and the kind of, the magical world of pop music for those things to happen, because it won't happen anywhere else.
Well, as well, and all of those types of experiences and those types of things really just kind of, gives an example of how fortunate we really are as people to still be able to do this and to have those experiences. I've come away from the tour with that priming in my mind as actually, to still be doing this at the age I'm doing it, and we're doing this. It's how lucky are we? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apart from the Justice Tonight, how many dates were on that when we did the Justice Tonight tour with Mick
11,
Jones? 11.
11.
This is the first one since '94, isn't it?
Yeah,
we did that 7-8 week tour of America.
Because we've just done festivals, haven't we, since then?
Yeah, we just played festivals.
Festivals.
We may well do 20
festivals,
we may well do 20 festivals a year, some years, and 4 others, but we gig regular, but this was quite different. And
the organisation of it, all the itineraries we got, leaving here at a certain time, it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
It came on. We did a couple of 4s, but when we did the 3s, it always felt like I could do another one. Another one. It was almost, because at the beginning we were saying it's great that it's not all together, but actually we could have coped with that. We could have do a full, 5-6 days on one day. If we could have done it, but we did our stride because we were behaving ourselves.
From a playing point of view, that's probably the most comfortable I felt going on stage and performing and playing. I was nervous for most gigs, but once you were on, just a little bit.
I don't think you got nervous.
A little bit, and then as soon as you get on, it's like just the more comfortable I felt really playing,
But you went viral on what one dressing room incident, didn't you?
What's that, sorry?
When you, just before going on stage, you and Carl went viral with the worst, like a really embarrassing dance, wasn't it? But it just shows you, it had the most views of the whole tour. You and Carl. Yeah. But we started playing music before going on stage. And we just did like the specials and a bit of punk stuff and all that. And we just to gear us up, didn't it, really? And it worked, didn't it, We went on like angry young men.
We were just having a bit of jollification, really, weren't we?
But I mean, I don't know who videoed that, but you know, I don't think the
Alex.
It was Alex.
Oh, was it Alex?
Yeah, Alex filmed it.
Yeah, but it somehow made its way onto social media, and you know, people were shaking their heads.
Yeah, they were.
I remember Alan McGee was in the dressing room, the Mondays manager, the legendary Alan McGee.
Yeah,
and I put the Pistols on for our warm-up song, and he was saying, "You go on to this."
Yeah.
And he was like beaming, smiling. And he was like, "All right, okay."
Yeah.
What's his favourite band, I think?
Yeah. Well, he manages.
Yeah.
Johnny, doesn't he? But he was like that. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah.
Not off.
But it was great though. We had a playlist before we played every night, and it was a playlist of kind of 76, 77. But it was great, wasn't it? Pistols, the Ramones.
Yeah.
It was.
Bit of big audio.
Big audio.
Yeah.
It was great to go on to. You know,
Undertones.
And the Undertones, yeah.
So would you have changed anything at all? And so apart from maybe having North Side on, you know, but because they were originally due to be on, weren't they? But
maybe
I'd have played more new ones.
More new ones,
yeah. I mean, when we were having the debate about the sets, I think I will stick by that album is as good as songs as you've ever written.
Yeah.
I'd have played the two big hits and the new ones in between.
Yeah.
Because
which ones then? Feel the Love.
Feel the Love.
Yeah.
I love that. It goes down well at festivals.
That feeling.
Waiting for the Sun, maybe.
Yeah. I think we could have interchanged. I think I was all for, because we rehearsed a set of songs and we were going to change them. And I thought we should have, but actually I thought you were right that we stuck by that set because it had a rhythm and it was working every night. You know, Bank Robber we do because of the Justice Tonight tour. I'd rather play our own songs. But when you've got the audience singing it back every night, then
and also the story behind it with the Justice Tonight. So it's good to tell people that story, isn't it? You know?
It's always a bit awkward though. It was great when we were playing cities that we played with Justice Tonight, but when you're playing somewhere that we didn't, and you're telling them it was great everywhere else. But but I mean, people love that story, don't they? And it's surprising how many people don't know about the Justice Tonight tour because it didn't really get the coverage it deserved. It did. I mean, for those who know. But when you say, "Oh yeah, we did a tour with Mick Jones, and then we supported Stone Roses playing Clash songs that Mick had never played since the Clash," people are like that. Oh wow,
it's a massive story, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is an important story.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
If only somebody had made a documentary about it.
Yeah. Well, the footage is somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone's got the footage.
I'd like to have seen more breakfast boxes on the tour.
Oh, right, yeah.
Really?
They were at the breakfast box, remember that?
Yeah.
That was a highlight.
That was Glasgow, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, I'd like to have seen that happen a lot more. They were hilarious. Although, I think Roy did take his cornflakes and milk to bed one afternoon. What's daytime time?
Yeah, that was an afternoon snack, yeah.
One of the great things about the tour was the ferry home, wasn't it?
Oh, the ferry
when
was
we
great.
seen the ice cream, oh my God,
it's
8 hours from Belfast. What's going on? But it was like a lake, wasn't it? The RSC was like a lake.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Well, I think as well, the ferry didn't have many people on it, so there was only us on it and a few other people.
It was the Marie Celeste.
And it was
no one on it.
It gave them an opportunity, I think, to decompress, I suppose, didn't it? And to kind of wind down and contemplate, okay.
Everyone had their own deck.
Yeah.
But like coming into Liverpool as well when it's a sunny day and
it was lovely, wasn't it?
It's like a lake. It was just fantastic, wasn't it?
I enjoyed the ferry back.
And it was a great end, really, to, you know, a spiritual end to the tour, wasn't it, really, you know?
Well, I think Keith's point about kind of decompressing is probably quite accurate. Because at first I was thinking 8 hours on a ferry.
Yeah.
But actually 8 hours later, it was so peaceful, so tranquil. By the time I got off, I just kind of, I was back to normal then.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you go straight home?
I didn't.
You bumped into someone, I think.
I got the taxi. Me and Pete got a taxi home. And I jumped out on the corner of my street. And literally, as I jumped out, I bumped into Franny and Mike from Red Rum Club.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they said, have you just come off tour? I said, yeah. And he said, fancy a pint? I was like, might as well. So,
reminiscing with them, yeah.
I was on the air with Red Rum Club for a couple of hours.
It's I remember towards the end, the Newcastle gig seemed so long ago.
Yeah.
Such.
Well, it was
a great start, though,
8
wasn't
weeks.
it?
8 weeks, yeah.
Was it 8 weeks? Yeah. Started on March the 13th.
Yeah.
And ended on April the 24th.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was a great
And we
start,
pretty much
Newcastle.
hit the ground running because that Newcastle gig was as good as any, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
absolutely. Yeah,
I love that venue though, City Hall.
Yeah.
it's a great venue.
I always remember when I was younger, I had a VHS tape of the Jam live at City Hall,
Right.
and I must have played it till it snapped. So City Hall was always embedded in my head when I was a young lad as this place of wonder. And I remember when we first played it in the 90s with the farm, I just remember being excited about playing it because I'd just watched this video of the Jam endlessly. And all of a sudden it became a reality. But I still feel like that. Whenever I heard the word City Hall, I always associated with the Jam.
Did you see the picture Gaz Whelan had?
No?
So in our dressing room, in the window in the corner, Gaz showed me earlier. He said, "Have you seen this?" And it was Dylan.
He was in our dressing room.
He was leaning by that window for his 66 tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Gaz was gutted because they were in the next dressing room and we had the Dylan dressing room.
I didn't know that.
So when you're playing on stage, Carl, you've got a distinctive style, haven't you? Do you ever think, I'm in the Jam or I'm in the Clash? It looks like
that's
that.
all he thinks.
Is there anything else to think?
I heard him shout "Going Underground" one night.
That's why I play Rickenbacker. No,
Steve's in the Clash, you're in the Jam.
Yeah. Who are you in?
I'm in David Bowie's 1976 Young Americans band.
Ooh, that's cool.
Playing Dennis Davis in my head.
Keith,
I think I'm in Bowie, one of Bowie's movement bands,
Yeah.
about you?
It's hard to say, but you can't get past Joe Strummer, can you?
No.
It's
But you've got his sunglasses, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got his sunglasses. He gave me in New York just before we did the Love Seen No Colour video.
Yeah.
And he was in he was in our hotel room, and he said, "You're doing a video tomorrow?" I went, yeah. He said, "Have you got any Ray-Bans?" And I went, "No." He said, "You've got to wear Ray-Bans in New York." So he gave me them. Yeah. And I lost them once at a Reading Festival. Yeah. But they got picked up by one of the crew and got sent back to me. And so over the years, they got damaged a bit. So I took them to the opticians by ours. And I said, "Can you fix these?" He said, "What do you want to fix these for?" I said, "Well, sentimental value." And the Ray-Bans went, "Nah, these are copies."
They're black ones.
The ones you bought on the street. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
I remember those glasses. That was a funny morning because who was in the hotel when we walked out? Was it?
Oh, Martin Landau.
That was it.
Martin Landau,
from Woody Allen films and Space 1999.
Yeah. Well,
you had a big boom box, didn't you? Playing Love Seen No Colour.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, do you remember when Joe Strummer and he met Mick in the hotel, didn't he? But he was on tour with the Pogues then.
He was,
because Shane McGowan wasn't
That's
well
right.
enough to tour.
That's right, yeah.
So Joe stepped in for him, And then, that's how we met him in there. And that night in the hotel room, I mean, it is true because I was standing next to him when he said it. Suggs was there. I think James Brown was there. Some of the farm were there.
Yeah.
And they reformed the Clash.
Yeah.
He did, and it was like 4 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, and the support, when we reformed the Clash, the farmer are there, you are with us,
Yeah.
We were in our room asleep, weren't we? And the phone went and it was Suggs, come up to room 6, 7, 9 or something.
Yeah.
So we went up. And then the next morning we're like that. Oh, we're going to support the Clash. We're going to support the Clash.
Yeah.
It's never mentioned again.
Never mentioned ever again.
Some of those moments at 4 a.m, some of those things will never be mentioned again, for obvious reasons.
That was a good night though, being in that room with Mick and Joe and Suggs and
James Brown mentions it in his book, doesn't he?
He does,
He
mention
talks about it.
Yeah.
It was good to see James because when we've all seen him separately over the years.
Yeah.
But has he been to a farm gig since the 90s?
Not for a while.
Not for a while, no.
Maybe,
But he was like I mean, the great thing about James, all that he's achieved, NME, Loaded, all the stuff he's done, he's an enthusiast, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
And he's so enthusiastic. And that night in the Roundhouse, he was like bouncing round. He was in the dressing room, wasn't he? Afterwards, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. And he gets so.
I want to come tomorrow.
I'm going to bring me lad tomorrow. He said.
That's right. Yeah.
That was the South End, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then another old friend from the past, Simon Moran, came to Leeds, didn't he? Our old manager and legendary promoter.
Yeah, you know, and,
didn't he arrive in a cab?
Yeah, he said what he said to us, like he's gonna go for a swim, and then he looked at his phone and saw we were playing in Leeds. So went, I'll go and see the farm. That's what happens, you know. And we had a good chat to him, and you know, he did our first tour, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did our first gig.
Yeah.
And he was our tour manager when we supported the Oaks Mountains.
Yeah.
But we go back a long way with Simon, don't we? You know what I mean?
Great man.
And we've got that. I mean,
and he's still got that enthusiasm for music. And he has, like, you know, he's one of the biggest promoters in Europe. Isn't he?
Incredible.
So it was good to see him. Yeah, so it was like old friends, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.